take a nice big deep breath here. Give your seatbelt a little tug. Take a breath, focus. Let's just play the game today.
And a very pleasant good evening. Welcome to DRTV on the DRL network, coming to you live tonight from the Charlotte Motor Speedway, the Blazin Pedals All-Star Race here, the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series All-Star Race. Blazin Pedals does here at this series every Thursday night. We have the All-Star Race live version tonight for us here, live as part of DRL Network's live coverage. Thank you for being out there in YouTube land tonight, for watching us. My name is Phil Lacasse, along with Todd Stanton and Mr. TV Time, Rich Patton, as always, at the controls for DRTV. And Todd, it's All-Star Night here at Blazin Pedals. It's been quite a while since we've come over to BP, and a pretty strong field of cars here. I believe we have 10 in the pit area. These guys had to go through qualifications and stuff to get their way into the All-Star race here this year. And a new flavor, it's also a points-paying event, so I think it's going to be a lot of cool things we're going to see here. Really good to get back to the BP gang. Been a long time.
Yeah, it definitely has been a long time to come back to Blazin Pedals. I'm glad to be a part of Blazin Pedals once again here this evening. An all-star event, all-star format here tonight. Points paying, which is not the norm for an all-star event, but this is going to be interesting. Some of the top-notch drivers of Blazin Pedals in competition here this evening.
Yeah, and something new, and a lot of the leagues have done this here so far in 2017 with this new stage type of racing. We're going to see three different stages here. Stage racing on tap for the guys at the Blazin Pedals, the Thursday night sprint, or the Monster Energy Cup Series, I should say. Here at the All-Star Race at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, and we talk about stage racing, Rich, and anytime we come to BP, we see a lot of great racing, and this whole stage format, it brings a whole bunch of different wrinkles into the event for us.
Yeah, we just had a stage race not too long ago in one of our previous broadcasts, and it showed us some things that, I wasn't too sure how it was going to work out, but it pans out pretty good. And the nice thing about the stage racing that we're learning or we're seeing so far is it really bunches the crowds back up. A lot of times these cars and drivers get so spread out that you're just paying attention to 4 or 5 cars on the track out of a 15, 20 car field. And, now with these stages, it's going to bunch everybody back up no matter, how far they get spread out and make for some more exciting racing. And we just recently saw an exciting finish in the last stage race that we did broadcast. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Absolutely right. Cannot wait to see where this race is going to take us. 3 stages, as we said. Stage number 1 is going to be 40 to 45 laps, depending on a caution buffer if the yellow flag is to come out in that 40-lap period. Second stage going to follow the same format, 40 to 45 laps, and the final stage will be about 50 laps, maybe 55 based on the laps we come through the first stages. 140 laps is going to be the total distance these guys at Blazin Pedals are going to run here tonight. BlazinPedals.com. That's blazing without a G, Blazin. Pedals.com is how you find this league. They've been around for a long time. They do a lot of great racing and a lot of great sponsors, over here at BP Rich. A lot of sponsors, help get these shows on the road. And the guys at FUG have done a great job to get us here this evening.
Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. Not a whole lot more on the sponsor stuff from this end, but I will tell you that we're running this 1.5-mile quad oval track. It looks like they're going to be doing 140 laps. Pit window seems to be between 28 and 32 laps. Pit road speed's 45 mile an hour. They are running 2X tire wear with moderate damage, and this is a fixed setup and fixed weather event. So everybody out here is pretty equal, and it really is going to be down to the drivers tonight. So we'll have to see what they do when they get under the green flag.
Oh, it's going to be an awesome night here. 140 laps at Charlotte, Todd. It certainly could be a long type of race. With 10 cars, it's probably going to buzz by pretty fast here. So I think we'll see a really ultra fast race. Charlotte always provides great racing, and the guys at BP. Let's face it, these guys have all raced together for a long time. So we're going to be in for one fantastic show. I got a feeling.
Yeah, you're definitely looking at this leaderboard, up and down this leaderboard. You got guys like Gary Piccolo, Matt Watkins. We've seen these guys in many different broadcasts across DRTV. Craig Meyer. You got Tony Roberson, Sonny Tallman, Dakota Wilkins. That's just to name a few out there racing here this evening. So it's going to be an interesting event. Like you said, there's 10 cars strong out there tonight for an all-star type field, all-star event here this evening. And I'll tell you what, it'll probably be a barn burner at the end of this race.
I couldn't agree more. Well, without further ado, Todd, about to put this race on the grid under green flag conditions. But first, as always, we're going to throw it down trackside for tonight's playing of the national anthem. All right, the playing of the national anthem to get us started here tonight. Live DRTV's coverage of the NASCAR All-Star Race here tonight, the Monster Energy All-Star Race for our friends at BlazinPedals.com. A first trip over to BP for us here on DRTV in probably about a year and a half. So really good to come back and catch up with Toby and Matt and all the guys over here have done a lot of racing. We see a lot of these names familiar on DRTV, but always great anytime you get to go to their home league and display everything they got going on. So we got a great field here tonight. 10 cars. All these guys, have had to qualify their way in through, either way of a win or some kind of qualification these guys have gotten to. I'll get the list here pulled up and we'll go over that once we get further on into race conditions. But Todd, these guys are about to get this thing fired up on the grid. 140 laps, 3 stages around. So let's dive straight into tonight's starting lineup.
And the starting lineup for tonight's event here at the Charlotte Lowe's Motor Speedway. Starting on the pole, driving the number 22, no unfamiliar face to DRTV. He is definitely a familiar face to DRTV. Driving the number 22, that's Gary Piccolo. And outside of him, driving the number 15, that's Matt Watkins.
Rolling off tonight for row number 2, heavy hitter here, driving car number 88, that Redline Motorsports machine. That is, of course, the Punisher, Craig Meyer. And to his outside, in the number 45, who welcome back to DRTV, our good buddy, that's Mr. Bobby Farrell.
Definitely a guy that I've seen on the win list quite a bit here at the BlazinPedals.com. That number 34, that's Tom Richter. And outside of him, driving the number 64, that's Tony Roberson.
Rolling off tonight in row number 4 in the 47, that is Sonny Tallman into his outside. In the 78, Fug Racing Machine, that is Dakota Wilkins.
Inside row number 5, starting the 9th starting position, driving the number 2, that's Phil Parker. And outside of him, driving the number 7, that's Corey Danielson.
Let's go trackside for tonight's indication.
Gentlemen, start your engines!
And with that, that's going to bring 10 drivers strong to life. 140 laps around the Charlotte Motor Speedway All-Star race here tonight. We've seen a lot of this through the month of May, as you typically do here. Great to have you here as we get out in broadcast lane here once again. A shout out to all our friends and fans out there on YouTube. Thank you guys for all the tremendous support you give us week after week and show after show. I know the summer months here, they get really, really busy for us and not a whole lot of content on the air, but certainly thankful to come over here to BP here tonight. The Charlotte Motor Speedway, decked out to the nines, ready for a great event. We look up toward the front row. Gary Piccolo. I mean, could you expect in this field to see anything less? I'm at 22 starting up on the pole. How about Matt Watkins to the outside? He comes in tonight as the series point leader, a 7-point margin over GT Irizarry, who's unable to make the field here tonight. But Matt Watkins, 1 win this season, 2 top 5s and 2 top 10s through the first 2 races of the year in this segment of the Cup Series. See if we can get the full points up here in just a couple of minutes. Looks like I just got a segment breakdown in front of me, so we'll get that all fixed up. But great front row, Todd. Gary Piccolo, Matt Watkins. You look in row 2, you find Craig Meyer, Bobby Farrell, who had some strong runs here recently as well, we've seen on the air. So, I believe this 10-car field, I mean, it basically could be a race one from anywhere. A lot of laps. Let's see where this thing's going to take us. The van about to hit pit road.
Yeah, the van takes that hard left-hand turn down the pit road, getting ready to go. Green flag racing here with Blazin Pedals. First time in probably a year and a half, we're going to have Blazin Pedals here live on DRTV. Flagger throws the green flag. The drivers put the loud pedal down and look at Matt Watkins steaming on the high side, that number 15. He's going to be able to complete the pass coming down into turn number 1. Put Matt Watkins to the front. Gary Piccolo not going to go away. He's still running that bottom side, but Watkins really strong up top here early on in the going.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see the top side, show a lot of the way around here through these early laps. Saw it, really be a favorite lane of the guys here in practice. But the 22 of Gary Piccolo running in that second spot, our pole sitter, looks like, Todd, he spun his tires a little bit there on the start. That allowed Matt to get that great run of that launch to get away, and Matt's starting to drive away a little bit. We may have a race almost for that second spot when they hit turn number 1. The idiot of Craig Meyer might peek to the inside. No, he's going to fall back in line, but I think maybe another corner, you may see a race for second spot down the backstretch here, Todd.
Yeah, definitely the Punisher, Craig Meyer, coming on strong here. Gary Piccolo just putting the loud pedal down, just a little hot and heavy here early in the going. That's what caused him to lose a little bit of ground to that number 15 of Matt Watkins. But Watkins not getting away from Gary Piccolo. Piccolo looking down low. We're seeing a nice dust screen here as they flash by, as I'm seeing on my screen here. It looks like a lot of dirt getting kicked up for those dirt fanatics out there. But Gary Piccolo able to stay there with the number 15 of Matt Watkins, the 88 of Craig Meyer running in that third spot. He's trying to track them down, but there's about 5 car lengths between himself and the 22 of Gary Piccolo. Fourth running right now, Tony Robertson in that number 64.
Yeah, Toby got around Tom Richter in a 34 about a lap and a half ago. Put the 64 up to position 4, as Todd said. All guys basically single file, as I think we're going to see here through at least the first stage of this race. I'm not sure. We're going to see a lot of mixing up. I think it's 140 laps at Charlotte. It's a lot of laps here tonight. And, of course, you want to get the points to pay out here. You need to finish one of these things. So I don't think we're going to see as much as far in the way of battles on the racetrack. I see the 78 of Dakota Wilkins, Todd. He's trying to march forward a little bit. Just about had the run on the 47 of Sonny Tallman. He'll fall back in line. That's racing for the 6th spot off of turn 4.
Yeah, racing still trying to heat up here towards the middle portion of this pack. Number 78 of Dakota Wilkins right there with the number 47 is Sonny Tallman. Also a nice battle for the 5th position, 5th and 4th position. Maybe heating up Tom Richter, and the number 64 of Tony Robertson is also, it looks like they're right there. It looks like these guys trying to make a move, but right now they're falling back in line, kind of riding around here. And I do want to say, though, Phil, I mean, it's a long race. Even though there are stages, it's a long race. These guys aren't going to put the hammer down as early as you think they would. But towards the end of the stage, you'll start seeing some of these guys move to try to get those, I believe they got stage points going on. So they're going to have to move to get some of those points.
Well, you're exactly right. And the way the stage format breaks down, we've got 10 drivers here, so all of them are going to get at least bonus points through the stage. It pays 10 points to the winner of a stage, 9, 8, and so forth. So it'll go 10 all the way down to 1 to make up this entire field. But if you want to be that top point getter in the segment, you have to win that stage. And, you know, it looks like Watkins there with our race lead, but there was almost a race for the lead there, Todd. Piccolo pulled right up on his back bumper and almost looked like he had the run. He's getting a great launch up for turn 2. 22 maybe going to peek to the inside of the speedway, maybe not, but appears to be a little bit faster as they hit turn 3.
Yeah, he's just a tad bit faster than number 22 machine, but Matt Watkins able to hold it down once again there. But he's getting a good launch, like you said, Phil, off of turn 4 and off of turn 2. That time, not so much. He lost about 2 to 3 car lengths to the number 15 of Matt Watkins. So these guys just trying to feel each other out. It is early in the going. We're on lap 8 of 140, so we're going to have to wait and see if these guys are going to be able to challenge each other, or are they going to stay in line here early on in the going. I think you want to see what kind of tires you could. How much your tires can last and all that stuff, Phil.
Well, and I think tires is a great segue there, Todd. Talking about that is 9 laps of the 45 that make up segment 1 are going to go on the board. But, you know, like we talked about, the stage formatting and, you know, getting, of course, the high bonus points for winning a stage, you know, maybe the risk of not burning up your tires now, because if you think of it, I believe Rich said the pit window here tonight, somewhere about 28 to 32 laps. Well, the stage being 45, we're going to have to see these guys at least come to pit road one time. So do you save your tires and, you know, max out the run, or do we maybe thinking of maybe putting that short and maybe splitting this segment in, Todd, there, or in half? What do you think?
Well, you could split it in half, but again, it looks like drafting does play a little bit of a factor here. It does at most of these tracks that are a little bit longer, but the top 4 are definitely pulling away from the rest of the field. So, I mean, you're going to have to go in, I believe, with a partner if you're going to try to short pit and maybe cut this run in half. I think going alone right now would probably not be in the best interest.
No, I don't think so either. You guys, you know, not too much exciting things to talk about. These guys all sorted out single file. You know, not thinking we're going to see these guys burn up their equipment here. I mean, we got 11 laps up on the board. Still 129 laps to go in the main event here, you know, when we get down through stage number 3. So I think these guys, 10 cars, going to log laps. Matt Watkins, your current race leader, a winner here in 2017 on the Blazin Pedals Monster Energy Sprint Car, the Cup Series. I got to get that word sprint out of my mouth there, Todd. You know, it took me 5 years to get it in the mouth, and now I can't seem to get it out. But the Monster Energy Cup Series over here at BP. Matt Watkins coming in as tonight's point leader. You know, looking down through the standings, you know, GT Irizarry came in second in the points, and I'm hoping I got the right sheet in front of me, Rich. Hopefully this is going to add up with what you've got on your end. Toby Robinson currently third in the point standings, one top 5, 2 top 10 finishes. Looks like this segment of the series for these guys is only a number 2. So I'm gonna have to pull up the list of the qualifications, how these guys got in. But a race for second, Todd, down the front stretch.
Yeah, right now Gary Piccolo momentarily had second place, but the Punisher Craig Meyer went down to the bottom side. Number 88 machine. Here comes Toby Robertson down to the bottom side trying to help Craig Meyer. Meyer not getting the grip down there, and say the 22 of Gary Piccolo is getting up on the high side. Piccolo able to pull in front of him there once again. But here comes the 88 back down to the bottom again. Craig Meyer trying to get the advantage down on the bottom side. This time Gary Piccolo going to fade back, this time into the clutches of the 64 of Tony Roberson. Roberson now move him to third.
Yeah, Roberson up to that third spot. Piccolo getting shoved back to that fourth position. You know, knowing Gary the way we do, Todd, I know he's a guy who likes to charge these racetracks, but he may be one of those guys looking up at the leaderboard, looking at the lap counter, knowing that at least a pit stop is going to have to happen here in this stage. You're going to get a mandatory caution. So with 10 cars, do you bank on getting an absolute yellow flag to come to pit road, or are you mind just to run this thing out full of fuel and, maybe make that pit stop at the very end of the window?
Well, these guys right now are racing really, really smart on the speedway. They're giving. If a guy's down to the bottom side, you don't see these guys trying to fend each other off. They're giving. They're not taking out there on the speedway. That could end towards the end of the stage, but these guys have notoriously had a lot of green flag running here in this Monster Energy over here in Blazin Pedals. So you gotta think of weigh the good with the bad, and lately it's been a lot of good over here at Blazin Pedals, and these guys have run a lot of green flag laps.
No, they really have. In the Cup Series here on Thursday night, it's been a staple for Blazin Pedals for a long time. I've raced this series over the years. I know you have as well, Todd. I know Joe raced this series for a long time. It's a great series. A lot of the top drivers in the community have been out at BP at one point or another. And, you know, this Cup Series, you know, may only have 10 cars in stature here tonight for the All-Star race, but it's a really strong field. The heaviest of the heavy hitters come out. You know, Maverick Moto is usually here. GT Arizari as well. We know he's one of those faster drivers, you know, up and down this list. You see guys, you know, the Scott Schroyers of the world. We know he's a great race car driver. Matt Narvaez is usually a part of this series as well. So those are names we've seen on Victory Lane and DRTV before. So, you know, looking for a great Cup Series to be a part of here. 9 p.m. Thursday nights. These guys do it. BlazinPedals.com. A great league here. An awesome event. The All-Star Race. The Monster Energy Cup Series tonight at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Matt Watkins, Todd, he's led the first 18 laps. And so far, no challenger as they exit turn 2.
Yeah, no challenger to speak of so far. Matt Watkins right now about a comfortable lead, about 3 car lengths over the number 88. Craig Meyer, the Punisher, Toby Roberson right there. Gary Piccolo not that far back. He's about 2 car lengths back of Tony Roberson in that number 64 machine.
No, absolutely right. And I want to highlight our 5th place position if we can. You know, Sheriff Rich can give me an ISO. You know, on the 5th place runner. We'll get to 5th here in a minute. A battle for that 2nd spot. Here comes Toby to the inside. He's got Craig Meyer, the Punisher, up high. Put the 64 up to position number 2. He is going to move forward. Looks like Craig going to be able to, with the benefit of his teammate there in the 22, going to roll back in line. But Toby Roberson, Todd, he started deeper in the field, and he's working his way forward. He's up to the 2nd spot, and he's starting to chase down Matt Watkins a little bit.
Yeah, indeed. He's starting to chase him down just a little bit in the number 64 machine. It's just a little bit, just barely a little bit in the number 64. I mean, last time by, he ran a 29.603. And the number 15, and Matt Watkins ran a 29.693. So Tony Roberson just a little bit faster aboard that number 64 machine. He's starting to chase down the 15. The 15 of Matt Watkins, but not so much this time by, Phil. I believe it looked like 64 slipped up just a tad bit there on the exit of that corner, and I believe that's going to give Matt Watkins just a slight advantage. So these guys, one lap, the 15 is a little bit faster. Next lap, the 64 of Roberson a little bit faster. These guys are pretty much equal right now.
No, they certainly are. The 64 looks like he may have the better race car, but you know, we're going to see how that pans out. He has certainly chased him down. He is certainly there, but for the first time tonight, Rich, I want to do a DRTV driver spotlight, and it's going to be the 34 of Tom Richter, who now with the correct point standings in front of me, he's coming into tonight's event as the point leader.
Yeah, most definitely. Watching the number 34, that Avis machine of Tom Richter. Personal best lap right now is a 29.153. Started tonight in 5th. Highest is 4th. Lowest is 5th. Currently riding in 5th place. So as you can see, most of the field is staying pretty steady with just a little bit of position changing here and there. So looking forward for Tom moving up in the field.
Yeah, I wanted to highlight Tom, one of the great guys over here at BP, currently 5th on the racetrack. Comes in tonight, now getting the correct point standings in front through 11 races. He's our series point leader, 4 points better on Toby Robertson. So no surprise at all to see Toby up there going to compete for the lead. Maverick Moto currently 3rd spot in the points. Matt Watkins 4th, and Dakota Wilkins currently rounds out your top 5. But you look at the interval from 2nd and 3rd in points, it goes 4 all the way back to 98. So it's certainly Tom Richter and Toby Robertson that have, set the pace as far as this series. Tom currently 5th, but the guy on the move, Todd, that 64 of Robertson, he started in position number 7. He's all the way up to 2nd, and, little by little, he starts chopping off that interval. He's got it down to about 3 car lengths now down the back straightaway.
Yeah, he's got it down to about 3 car lengths. It looks like, Phil, that the number 15 of Matt Watkins may have burned his tires up just a little bit. I've been seeing the 15 starting to skate up the track ever so slightly. It looks like he's got a little bit of a push in that 15. That's allowing Robertson to get a better run off in that number 64 machine. So he's been able to chop into it. About a car length and a half coming down here into turn number 1. Almost a car length, now down to a half a car length. Roberson right there at his rear bumper.
He is right there on the bumper, as you said, getting off. It looks like Toby, Todd, gets that really, really good launch at the exit of these corners, able to drive that car. Doesn't look like he's going to be abusing it at all, but looks like it's definitely going to be, the benefit of, maybe not using up those tires, riding back in traffic the way he did versus Matt laying down those fast laps. And I think that is paying off. Toby now within 1 car length, maybe a little lap and a half. It looks like he's able to get the throttle a little bit better through the bottom of these corners. So what do you think, Todd? 2 laps? Is Toby going to make the move? I think he's going to here real shortly.
Yeah, he's definitely getting off the exit of the speedway. The 64 is now coming down on pit road. Looks like the 15 coming down on pit road. These guys coming to pit road here. 15 of Matt Watkins really locking up the brakes. He's coming down to the 8 of his pit crew. I'm going to wait and see what the 15 of Matt Watkins does. Watkins real slow down through pit road, like I'm saying, 45 miles an hour. That is a lifetime. That's an eternity on pit road. Coming down to the 8 of his pit crew. He's coming down into the box here. He's in box number 2. Right side tires going on to number 15 of Matt Watkins. Looks like they're going to jog around here to the left-hand side. Left-hand side is jacked up in there. 4 tires, and it looks like it's going to be 4 tires and Sunoco Racing Fuel, and he's down and away.
2 tires for the 64 of Toby Robertson. 2 tires, his service down really quick. It was 4 tires for the Tom Richter machine. Also 4 tires the previous lap for Craig Meyer and Corey Danielson, who have all joined the racetrack. But what a call there, Todd. 2 tires for Toby Robertson, knowing there's only about 15 laps or so to go in this segment. That's a brilliant call on his end.
Yeah, definitely. He can try out and see what's going to happen there and get those extra points there towards the segment end here. Just waiting to see what the number 22 of Gary Piccolo does. He's inherited the lead in that number 22 machine. I believe it can't be too much longer. You're going to have to see Gary Piccolo come to pit road, and I have not seen any life down on the pit wall yet, but they could be trying to jank me out. I think he's starting to throttle down maybe to come down this time. No, he's going to miss pit road once again. So Gary Piccolo still your leader. How much longer do you think he can afford to stay out there, Phil?
Oh, I think it's going to be probably a lap or a lap and a half until he gets, onto pit road. The max, I believe, was 32 laps. So you got to think that thing's getting, a little bit empty on the fuel. I'm on pit road. That Team Canada Chevrolet, the 47 of Sonny Tallman, has found his way to pit road. He was currently in that 4th spot last time around, so he certainly, played the fuel strategy as well. So let's see what the 47 camp does here on pit road. We've seen 4 tires. We've seen 2 tires. With 30 laps on the board, the segment being another 15 laps in distance. Let's see if maybe 2 tires may be the call for Sonny. The right sides are in the air. Looks like maybe just an extended right side tire. Something going amiss there. 2 right side tires, Todd. The 47 down and away. So another guy with 2 tires.
Gary Piccolo now, I'm hearing communication. He is coming this time coming down pit road here momentarily. We're starting to hear him throttle down. He is indeed going to come down pit road. He's got to get down to 45 miles an hour at the line. He's just going to barely do so, smoking his tires up. Hopefully, here comes the 22 down on pit road. Like I said, Gary Piccolo, 45 miles an hour. That's like I said, an eternity. It's a long time. But what's going to be the call for Gary Piccolo? I almost think 2 tires probably would be the call there, Phil, for Gary Piccolo. We're going to have to see how well I am versed in this kind of effort as he's down in here in pit stall number 1. Right side tires going up and on the number 22 of Gary Piccolo. You're going to have to see if they're going to go around and give him left side tires. Nope, 2 tires is the call. He's done and away.
I got the 45 of Bobby Farrell. He pitted out of position number 3 last time around. He's got right side tire work. It's going to be 2 tires of Bobby Farrell. The low Chevrolet, Todd, down and away.
I'm watching Gary Piccolo come back out on the track, but I believe he's in here. The lead is now going to come back to maybe Dakota Wilkins, but he's down on pit road. Phil, you got him?
Yes, sir. The Fug Motorsports number 78 onto pit road. Dakota Wilkins, also a Red Line Motorsports driver. Got to assume it's got to be 2 tires like the rest of his teammates. The work is done on the right sides. Only going to be, looks like it's going to be a 4-tire pit stop. So a different play there for Dakota Wilkins camp. The left sides are down. The fuel is in. The 78 rejoining the field, but really thought he would take 2 there, Todd, but he's going to elect 4. Let's see where he falls into the order here.
After everything cycles through here, the 64, I believe, is going to be your race leader with that 2-tire strategy. Tony Roberson and the number 64 machine. He's going to be your leader, I believe, this time at the stripe. We're going to follow him just a little bit, see if he's going to be the leader. And I believe he's going to actually, indeed, be the leader. It's going to be Toby Roberson with the lead in the number 64 machine. Second is going to be the 15 of Matt Watkins. Third, the 22 of Gary Piccolo. He's on 2 tires. And then 4th is Craig Meyer in the 88. He's on 4 tires. And 5th is a 34, Tom Richter. 6th is going to be the number 45 of Bobby Farrell. 7th, Sonny Tallman in the 47. 8th is Dakota Wilkins after taking 4 tires. 9th is the number 2 of Phil Parker, and 10th, I believe, I'm trying to see who is 10th on the Speedway. Corey Danielson, he has fallen victim to the alien abduction, and Corey Danielson now being able to rejoin back to the server, but he is 10th right now on the field.
Yeah, he was 2 laps down. He was one of the first drivers to come to pit road, and not sure if there was an issue there, but his car was definitely off the pace and was 2 laps to the rears, and now the aliens has decided they're going to pick up our friend Corey and throw him back now into the server, as you said. So he's going to be at least 2 laps down, which is certainly unfortunate. Here is 36 laps up on the board, so under 10 laps to go here in segment, or stage number 1, I should say. Stage, not segment. Got to get that word right, is new lingo here for these Monster Energy Series here in 2017. But with that great pit stop, Toby got gained a lot of time there on pit road. We know he had the faster car in the long run there, Todd, but what an amazing call with those 2 tires. I mean, I think he snookered Matt Watkins there, definitely, and that 2-tire stop may propel him to the win in stage 1 here, as now we have 8 laps to go up on the board.
Yeah, but Matt Watkins, you want to know the difference between 2 tires and 4 tires? Tony Roberson last time by ran a 29.6. The 15 of Matt Watkins, 29.3. So he's incredibly a lot faster as the 15 with 4 tires versus 2 tires, and Watkins running them down. So it may have been a call, Phil, but I don't think he's going to be able to hold on to that lead here for stage number 1.
Well, and looking back, position number 3, Todd, we find the 22 of Gary Piccolo. He was also a guy of a 2-tire strategy, but he came in later into that run. Do you think the more wear he used on those tires may be a attributing factor to that 2-second disadvantage he sees right now?
Well, the longer you stay out on those older tires, you're going to give way to the guys with the newer tires. They're going to gain a lot of ground on you, and then when you're down in pit road, you're going to lose some of that. So those guys out on the pit road with the fresh tires are going to gain a bunch of time on you. But the 15 of Matt Watkins now challenging for the lead, race for the lead. Matt Watkins with those 4 fresh Goodyear Eagles going to prove Toby Roberson wrong for taking 2 tires that time.
No, and it's certainly going to pay off as they hit turn number 1. No challenge at all. Toby just going to lay over and let that 15 go forward. Tires certainly, displaying to be the way to go. And also through that race for the 3rd spot, Craig Meyer with the 4 tires was able to complete the pass of Gary Piccolo with a 22. So move Craig up to position number 3. It's the same story there. 4 tires on that, that Busch Light Ford. Great to see Craig Meyer out there parading that blue oval. He was a Chevy guy for a long time. The new make serving him good. I've seen that same scheme to go to victory lane here recently and having a great run on the All-Star race here tonight, Todd. Cool to see Craig in a Ford. It's been a long time. He's been a holdout and certainly paying off so far through these first 40 laps.
Yeah, I definitely think that he was wishing that he went to that blue oval a lot sooner than he did. He won quite a few races already with that blue oval, so hopefully he's trying to add another victory there to that blue oval number 88. And like you said, Phil, he's been running and parading around in a Chevy for a long time, and now aboard a Ford, so he's got a little bit more power there, it seems.
Oh, it certainly does. It's 41 laps, so the 45 that make up stage number 1 are up on the board, so under 5 laps remaining. If a caution flag were to fly from here, it would end this segment. They would race back to the line, but, it looks like the race of the stage may be inevitable. Matt Watkins with those 4 fresh tires, able to motor out to a great advantage there, almost, 0.8 of a second last time around, so we seen him about a second back when this cycle here started, Todd, after pit stops, and those fresh tires are certainly paying off with 2 laps remaining on the stage. Looks like Matt Watkins may be coasting to victory in, those most coveted playoff points here through stage 1.
Yeah, it definitely looks like he's going to be able to propel himself and coast to this victory as long as nothing else happens to that number 15 machine there, barring maybe a motor expiring or something. But the 88 is running in that 3rd spot. So like we were saying, we were talking about that, and the admin, we were just hearing, Phil, can you enlighten the YouTube chat box guys what's going to happen here?
Well, what's going to happen is the race admin at the controls, he's going to throw the yellow flag out through the end of the stage, which should be in about a lap and a half away. I believe it's going to be white flag this time at the line. So race control having the command of the race, they're going to put the yellow flag out that's going to serve as the end of stage 1. So it's going to be about a lap away, and we'll see this race under caution. These guys will have the ability to come to pit road and get all the service they wish. There's no mandatory stop of 2 or 4 tires. These guys are free to do as they will. I mean, it's a points-paying race for the Blazin Pedals Monster Energy Racing Series here tonight. So, being as it is, these guys have the ability to make all the adjustments they want here on pit road. Is 45 laps going up on the board, and I think we're going to see that caution flag here in just a second, but I think we can officially call Todd Matt Watkins the winner of stage 1.
Yeah, definitely. I think we can indeed call him the winner of stage 1, but we're waiting on that yellow flag to be flown here, and we're just waiting, and maybe, like Phil was saying, maybe it's the end yellow flag is going to fly here. Admin throwing this yellow flag out for the end of stage number 1. It's going to be Matt Watkins taking down the win of stage 1. So Matt Watkins, winner of stage 1. Second was Tony Roberson. Third, the 88 Craig Meyer. Fourth is going to be Tom Richter. Fifth is Gary Piccolo in the 22 machine. The 78 Dakota Wilkins. Sixth, seventh, Sonny Tallman. Eighth is the 45 of Bobby Farrell. Phil Parker is ninth, and rounding out your top 10, 13 laps down is Corey Danielson.
Yeah, looks like Corey's machine may be retired behind the wall for the night. Maybe the aliens scared the life out of him, and that 7 machine deciding they're going to call it an evening and try to collect his P's and Q's and get the heck out of Charlotte here tonight. Maybe keep himself safe, but certainly sorry to see Corey out of the race here so soon here. The end of stage 1 has upon us. Matt Watkins will take down the win and those coveted 10 bonus points here through being the winner of the stage. Toby Robertson, as Todd said, will finish up second. Craig Meyer third. Tom Richter fourth. And Gary Piccolo, puzzled to see him fall all the way back to position number 5. He had those 2 tires. It certainly hurt him there. And as these guys come onto pit road, Todd, under this caution flag between the stages, we saw a lot of these guys take 2. Do you think they take 4 here with this segment break?
Oh, with the segment break, I think you take 4 tires and get down in the way. So, I'm looking at Matt Watkins right now. Matt Watkins, right side tires. Also, the 88, I believe, or 22, Gary Piccolo. It looks like he's going to get 4 tires also. Both cars jacked up. Matt Watkins down in the way. Looks like Craig Myers down in the way, and also the 22 of Gary Piccolo down in the way. 4 tires to call there.
Yeah, 4 tires also for Toby Robertson. Also 4 tires for Tom Richter, the 34. 4 tires for Bobby Farrell. 4 tires for Dakota Wilkins. Everybody on pit road, Todd, electing for 4 tires. So, same thing thinking for stage number 2, the fuel window being 28 to 32 laps. This race has been green flag racing so far, except for this caution flag that separates stage number 1 and 2. So, knowing the same race, the same distance, do you think we may see some different strategy in segment 2? Or do you think maybe with the benefit of seeing 4 tires taking the stage win, do you see more choose those 4 tires?
I think you're going to see more 2-tire calls. If we stay green that whole stage, Phil, I think you're going to see some more people gamble. They see the work for Tony Roberson to get second, but I think you're going to have to get an astounding lead. You're going to have to really nail your pit stop if you're going to be able to hold somebody off that's got 4 fresh Goodyear Eagles on. Look at Matt Watkins was probably a good 3 seconds behind Tony Roberson, and he was able to run him down in no time flat. So 2 tires could be a good call, but it also could be the death of you too. You could drop back. Look at Gary Piccolo dropping back all the way to 5th.
Oh, absolutely right. Well, let's see if we can't, we talk about it amongst ourselves. Well, let's go down to, get one of the drivers in here. Let's talk to our stage 1 winner, that being the 15 of Matt Watkins. See if we can't get Matt all screened out here and maybe get a quick word with the driver of that number 15. I think we've got him there all screened out. And yeah, believe we got him now. Matt Watkins, Phil Lacasse on DRTV, buddy. How you doing?
Hey there. So far, so good. Everything feels like it should. Running good, so I'm just hoping it stays just like it does now.
Oh, absolutely right. We've seen you take those 4 tires on that pit stop. Toby only taking 2. Do you think that was a deciding factor of you getting those coveted bonus points here and winning stage 1?
Yeah, I think it was kind of different for Toby to try that to see how how it would work since we're real early on here, and I wanted to drive forward and pretty much go as hard as I could. So yeah, it's good to try things early and then get a good idea later on how it works out.
So we're going to see any game plan for you out there with that number 15 Toyota in stage 2, or you think you're going to change it up, or are you going to stick with what works and maybe try to win stage 2? I mean, it is a points race here tonight, so I'm sure those playoff points got to be in the back of your mind here through these stages.
Yeah, I mean, when it's going like this, you just want to keep going with what's working so far. So that might be the plan right now.
Well, my friend, I wouldn't change what you're doing whatsoever. You put that thing in victory lane, had a really strong race car. Toby seemed on the long run to have a little bit of fresher tire, but, as he said, gambling on those two and you taking 4, that certainly put you back to the front. And I'm thinking you're going to do a lot more of the same. You're going to start stage 2 from the pole position. I believe the lights are out, so we'll put you back to the channel. But, with any luck here, Matt, we may see you here in about 40 laps now back again in victory lane. So congratulations on that, and good luck through stage 2, buddy.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
All right, Matt Watkins winning stage number 1 here. The Blazin Pedals Monster Energy NASCAR All-Star Race here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. So good to come back to Blazin Pedals. It has been quite some time. Every time we've come here over the years, we've seen a lot of great racing. And, these guys at BP, they've done it great for a long time. Heads up, hats off to Sean Case, to the owner of BP. I know Jason Justice, very instrumental. Toby Robertson, who taking over as the lead admin for this series in 2017, with the help of Matt Watkins alongside. Those guys have done such a fantastic job, carrying on the legacy of Blazin Pedals with this Cup Series. It is such a fast series, great racing for a long time. Cannot recommend these guys on a Thursday evening nearly enough. So looking for a cool Cup Series on Thursday nights, 9 p.m., blazinpedals.com. That's Blazin without a G, Blazin. Pedals.com is how you find these guys. And Todd believes stage 2 about to get underway. The lights are out atop of DRTV Pace Van. He's made that left-hand turn. So let's get back to stage racing here. 45 laps of distance. We're waiting the green flag here as lap 50 comes on the board.
Yeah, waiting the green flag here, lap 50. It's going to be Matt Watkins, Craig Meyer. Green flag is in the air. Matt Watkins, a whale of a good start for the number 15 machine. This time on the bottom side, he leaves Craig Meyer in the dust on that restart. I think Craig was sleeping just a little bit. He better go try to take some no-dos so he does not get beat that bad on that restart again in the number 88 machine. But he's trying to come back. Gary Piccolo, meanwhile, back in that 3rd spot. But the 64, Tony Robeson, down on the bottom side. He restarted 5th. And now he's already up to 3rd in 1 lap. The 64 on the move to that 3rd spot.
Yeah, Toby's certainly got a rocket. He don't need the no-dose, but who else may is Gary Piccolo at 22. May have got a piece of the outside wall, just a little bit there off of turn 2 on that first lap. If he didn't hit it, he was certainly close enough to give it a kiss out there. Thinking with 22 was all pointing in the right direction. Good, especially here at moderate damage. But those red line guys there, Todd, falling asleep on the restart. Matt now trying to drive away a little bit, but Craig Meyer certainly not going to allow him to do so. He's pulled right to the back bumper, and look, maybe now a race for the lead down the front straightaway.
Yeah, Craig Meyer momentarily peeked down to the bottom side. He's already got his no-dos in him. He's ready to go back to racing here with that number 88 machine. And he was down to the bottom side there momentarily, and he's able to go down to the bottom side. And now he's not able to do anything down the back straightaway. Matt Watkins shuts the door here. So Craig Meyer trying to get to the lead here in that number 88 for the first time. We've only seen 2 different leaders here as they're racing besides on pit stops, but the 15 of Matt Watkins currently leading by about a car length over the 88, the Punisher, Craig Meyer.
Yeah, and the same story, same dance that we saw here in segment 1. The top 4 cars starting to distance himself for the rest of the field. Matt Watkins, Craig Meyer, Toby Robertson, Gary Piccolo, just as they did through those first 45 laps, starting to pull away just a little bit. Great race going on just behind this group, Todd. For position number 5, Tom Richter is there, but he's got a mirrorful of Dakota Wilkins and also Bobby Farrell there, racing for the 5th spot toward turn 1.
Yeah, Dakota Wilkins there. Tom Richter made the move on a restart because, again, another Red Line Motorsports guy. I mean, at a different he's not technically here in BP, but I've seen him Red Line colors, and he was caught sleeping there, and Richter was able to get around the 78. So, I mean, Dakota Wilkins right now running in that 6th spot and maybe trying to conserve his tires. He runs a whole different race back there in that 6th spot. It's going to be interesting to see what Dakota's got up his sleeve here. I'm normally not used to seeing him run towards the middle portion, if not the back of the pack in the number 78.
No, you're absolutely right. I thought for sure we'd see him up there competing for these stage points especially, but kind of puzzled to see that 78 laying back in position number 6, but it shows the strength of the field we have here tonight. I mean, we only had 10 drivers take the green flag, but there are some super fast race car drivers out there. I mean, look throughout that top 6 or 8 spots there, even the whole field. Sonny Tolman running in 9th here, maybe the last car on the racetrack, but Sonny no slouch at all in this community. He's put a lot of great runs together through the years as well, so certainly this race not over by any stretch of the word. 56 laps up on the board. 140 makes up the big main event here tonight. So about 14 laps shy of the halfway mark. And of course here, stage number 2 out of the 3 stages. This one equal in distance. 45 laps, so about lap 90 we'll see that caution flag. That's going to end stage number 2, so a lot of racing left to go. At least one more pit stop before we get there, but it's same song, same dance. Matt Watkins of 15 pacing the field. Craig Meyer right there. Toby Robertson, Todd, looks to be gaining once again a little bit of car length at a time. He's got that down to about 3 car lengths down the back straightaway.
Yeah, he's played a little bit of peekaboo with the number 88 of Craig Meyer. He looked down to the bottom side. He went back up in the line. Now back down to the bottom side once again. That 64 machine again. The 64 trying to get up alongside of him, not able to do so. The 88 of Craig Meyer still holding on to second, but the 64 of Tony Robertson still all over the rear bumper of the 88 of Craig Meyer.
Yeah, I'm not sure he slammed the door shut coming off of turn 4 last lap, but he certainly, creaked it down real slowly and, eased that door shut, if you will, and, maintains that position number 2. Craig arcing it in up the high lane as they hit turn number 3. Toby driving in a little bit deeper, washing up the racetrack. How much do you think that changes off the tire wear the way these goes here, Todd? Craig entering high and exiting low. Toby driving in low deep and drifting over the high lane. Who do you think's abusing their tires more?
I'm almost thinking that the 64 there was abusing his tires just a little bit to catch these guys, because it looked like he was chattering up the track in the number 64 machine when he was driving in so hard. They're diving down to the bottom. Yeah, he is diving into the corner, but you just got to think and can imagine the 64's tires is heating up when he's doing that. And he's put one wheel of the show coming all the way from 5th up to the 3rd spot and track down 1st and 2nd place. But another incident out there on the track, Phil, is Phil Parker in the number 2. He was abducted by aliens out on the speedway, and he has not returned yet.
No, have not seen the return of the number 2. Not sure if they took Blinky up in the sky with him or not, but, knowing Blinky the way I do, I'm sure they're going to spit him out in no time, but certainly tough break for Phil Parker. The number 2 was having a good run out there, was parading around in position number 7 last time around, but we'll hopefully see if he can join the race. Going to be at least 3 laps in the rears now, but this race up front, it certainly, hasn't been as far as drama goes, but these guys are certainly turning some whale of lap times here, Todd. These guys are flying at Charlotte here this evening.
Yeah, indeed, flying at Charlotte. I'm trying to look at Toby's gearing is. It almost sounded like something was wrong with the 64. As he just, it just sounded like he revved right out in the 64, like maybe he missed a shift or bounced a shifter out of gear. Oh, not a good sign for the 64. That'll take its toll on its motor there. As like I said, Phil, I could hear that motor just rev sky high.
No, I heard it too, and I heard the sound and looked up and seen the 64 slide up almost to the outside wall. And as you said, the revolutions these motors are turning here at Charlotte tonight. It's nighttime. They're going to push more power here in the darkness. So hopefully the 64 did not spin that so up, but maybe he grabbed over to a quick drink or whatever, trying to get the hands sorted out. But definitely something going amiss there. Looks like his car is still strong, but you don't know in the short term, Todd, but in the long term, we'll see the effects of that 64 if there's any motor damage or not.
Yeah, he could blow a header. He could, he could blow just about anything there, even the clutch for that matter. Later on in this event, so it may have took its toll. Just remember that he revved his engine pretty hot and heavy in the number 64 machine. So if something goes amiss on that motor, it's going to be probably in the hands of Tony Robertson, unfortunately, in that number 64 machine. But he's also been the fastest car. He's turned down the fastest lap all evening long. 29 flat, Phil. Not quite into the 28-second bracket, but 29 flat, and that's impressive. Gary Piccolo, 29.046. He's the next guy right behind him with the fastest lap of the event. The 34 Tom Richter, 29.052. 88 Craig Meyer, 29.103. The slowest guy on the speedway, all the way down to, I believe that was 10th, and he has not turned a lot of laps, is Corey Danielson, a 30.534. But the number 45 of Bobby Farrell, 20.173. So you're looking at 29 flat to a 29.173, Phil. This field's ultra competitive.
Oh, they certainly are. I mean, it looks like the NFL on the racetrack may be big, but you think of that in the way the fast laps are going. These guys circling at Charlotte in an amazing clip here tonight. 66 laps going up on the board, so the stage starting to tick down a little bit, approaching the event's halfway mark. And the 64 of Toby Robertson, we talked about that motor spinning up there, maybe knocking the car out of gear, but looks like that motor no worse for the wear, and looks like that thing is still strong. But maybe there's a mistake there, Rich. You know, we haven't talked to you here in a little while, so we'll bring you to the conversation. I know before I've tried to reach over, grab a drink, or check a hotkey and check the tire temp, so the pressures or whatever. I know I've knocked my car out of gear before. I'm sure, being a veteran racer yourself, have you ever done that under green flag conditions? Go up and reach your button and knock that thing out of gear, and maybe it'll blow that thing up. Ever made that mistake before?
I have indeed done that before, and usually I haven't done it only one time either. I've done it a few times over the many years, and every time that I've done that, I usually don't finish the race. It'll usually pop the motor right then or there, or later on I end up popping the motor, and it's just not wise. It really hurts you in the long run, and hopefully Toby's not going to get that bug, and hopefully that wasn't what it is. But I'd hate to see him get out of this event early. He's right there competitive with all the leaders right now, so gonna have to keep an eye on him and see how he does. Hopefully it didn't hurt anything.
No, let's hope so either. That thing looks to be strong here, Todd. He's all over the back bumper of the 22 of Gary Piccolo. He's going to swing to the low side. That may be a side-by-side drag race off of turn 4 down the front straightaway.
Yeah, 24 of Gary Piccolo does not seem to be in sync with the rest of the field right now. He just, it seems like he gets up there, he gets up there and,
All right, well, sorry, a little off-air discussion there. Got Todd distracted. I believe he called Gary the 24. I believe he's out there on the 22. I think Rich can back me up on that claim on our off-air communication. But I believe Gary Piccolo is the 22. We won't get on Todd's nerves, because I certainly can't afford to lose my broadcast partner here tonight. But I swear I heard 24. But nonetheless, Toby Robertson up to third. He's going to look for second there, Todd, off turn number 2 down the back straightaway.
Just making you wait just a little bit, and I'm back out here. Tony Robertson now up to that second spot, and I like to kid around here on DRTV, and these guys, you should hear these comments, especially when I make them wait and they try to throw it to me. Yeah, it's fantastic to hear them whine in the background.
Wow, little throw under the bus action there, but we've done a great job also of putting our buddy Gary Piccolo under the bus here. And that 22, Todd, he's got that red line Ford on the pit road.
Yeah, well, I'm watching Tony Robertson come down to the pit road. He did not pit there. He's coming down, but I didn't think he was going to make pits, as he about wiped out. You were watching Gary Piccolo, and I was watching Tony Robertson come down to the aid of his pit crew, and like you said, he's completely sideways coming down pit road, but is able to keep that under wraps. Kind of like a dirt ringer in that number 64 machine. But right side tires going on the 64. Will he only take 2 tires this time, or will he take 4? Did he learn his lesson last time? He did indeed. 4 tires to call for Tony Robertson, and he's down and away.
Looks like going to be a 4-tire pit stop for Craig Meyer. The previous lap, it was 4 tires for Gary Piccolo. Tom Richter also took 4, and also Dakota Wilkins. All those guys on pit road taking 4. Looking like 4 tires is the call here for everybody in segment 2 here, Todd.
Yeah, indeed. Nobody wanting to gamble to take those 2 tires out there on the speedway this time. We're on lap 72 of this segment, so we got 18 laps to end this segment this time. So 4 tires to call for anybody out there on the speedway. Some of these guys, did they elect to stay out, Phil? Or I'm trying to think. Matt Watkins down on pit road in the 15 machine. Do you have that, Phil?
I certainly do. Matt Watkins bringing that Toyota to the attention of his pit crew. He got 4 tires, got that thing full of fuel. Matt Watkins going to be joining the competition. Notoriously one of the better pitters we see here in the community. So let's see where he shapes out here as he enters back to the racetrack off of turn 2. I think I lost Todd there for a brief second. I believe he's trying to to fumble through the communication is tough. Hoping the aliens have not abducted our friend Todd. We'll let him get all sorted out. But just to carry on the point is, Sonny Tallman's going to be your current point leader, the current race leader, I should say, the number 47. He has yet to come to pit road, as have the 45 of Bobby Farrell, that low Chevrolet. He's also stayed out on the racetrack. So you got to assume here, in about 2 or 3 laps, you got to see all these cars come out of the pit road to get these things full of fuel. We've seen 4 tires to call for all these guys here so far, these other 7 cars or 6 cars rather, that have all come to pit road. 2 drivers left on a lead lap now, that being Sonny Tallman and Bobby Farrell. We've seen 4 tires for all these guys, Todd, that have come to pit road. Do you think these guys that have stayed out maybe, try to play that role of 2 tires? Or do you think these guys come to pit road and take 4? They're not coming in this lap, but what do you think they do when they eventually do come to pit road?
Well, I think when these guys come down pit road, they're probably going to take 2 tires, gamble it out a little bit. We're going to just have to wait and see what they're going to do. But Sonny Tallman, them stage points. You really want them stage points. You want a stage win. Sonny Tallman out there, Bobby Farrell, like you said. Everybody else trapped 1 lap down, so it's going to be a little hard to make up all that ground. But they're doing so right now. They're quite a bit faster. So I'm looking at some of these times. Let's take a look at Tony Roberson. Roberson last time by 29.360. So let's go up to Sonny Tallman, and I'm going through these and looking for Sonny Tallman here in the 47. Last time by 30.204. So he's given up almost a second a lap to new tires, Phil, and that's something that you don't want to do gambling-wise. And I think 2 tires may not be a very good call, and staying out too long could be really, really costly to stage points here.
Oh, certainly, I think you're right. As you said, giving up a full second as we flash by pit road. Both Sonny and Bobby Farrell both electing to make at least 1 more lap on the racetrack. So, these guys, they have the rest of the field shot the lap down, but they know they have to come to pit road. These guys may be hoping on banking on a caution flag. I think we've seen a car around on the racetrack. Don't want to confirm that or not, but still clean and green flag racing here as 80 laps to go on the board next time around. So it's going to be 10 laps left in this stage. But as we come off of turn 4, the 47 and the 45, Todd, hard on the brakes. Our race leaders coming to pit road.
Yeah, here comes the 47. It's Sonny Tallman down on pit road, 45 miles an hour. And he's actually going 40 miles an hour in that 47 machine, so being extra cautious between them loops, and now he's starting to hype it up just a little bit, just trying to make sure that he wasn't speeding down on pit road. Maybe trying to give a little bit back so he don't get caught speeding. And the number 47 machine, he's down into his pit box. Right side tires going on the number 47. They're finishing up work on the right side. Let's see if they're going to go around to the left side. They're taking an extra long time on the right side here. Up in the air, quite a long time, but right side tires only the call there for the 47.
Well, it was a long pit stop for Sonny Tallman, but it was a quick 2-tire pit stop for the low Chevrolet of Bobby Farrell. Really quick 2-tire work there. Right side tires, Bobby Farrell down the way. He's going to win that race off of pit road between him and Sonny. Now the question is, giving up that second a lap they were on those older tires, where does he fall into the running order when this thing cycles out as race leaders go flashing by down the back straightaway?
Yeah, race leader's definitely going flashing by. We're going to have to see where everything's going to cycle out. I believe it's going to give the lead back to the 64 machine of Tony Roberson. And now he is indeed now your race leader with the 22 of Gary Piccolo in that second spot, I believe, on lap 81 here. The 15 of Matt Watkins, he's in that third spot. So, yeah, I'm not sure, Phil, there. Not sure the call for the 47 and the 45. You're saying that they may have lost the lap. I think they lost about... they lost the lap to the guys that were behind them a lap down, but I believe they're about 15 seconds off the pace. Nope, you're right. The 45 down 1 lap.
Yeah, well, we saw the leaders go by. That was the 88 of Craig Meyer, the 78 Dakota Wilkins. Those guys have 12 seconds between themselves running 4th and 5th, and up to our race leader, Toby Robertson, Gary Piccolo. So, Dakota and Craig, 12 seconds behind. So, the play for Bobby Farrell for Sonny Tallman, maybe not working out the way they hoped it would. They had a lap on the field, but by wasting that 1 second, difference they were making versus new versus old tires, those guys have lost a lap in the rear of the field, and that's certainly unfortunate for those guys, but it's one of those things. You try to make that strategy play work, maybe get a caution flag, and sometimes it just backfires in your face, and those guys find themselves now both trapped 1 lap down to the field.
Yeah, they both are trapped 1 lap down in 7th and 8th respectively out there on the speedway. But the 64 of Tony Roberson is trying to run away and hide from the number 22 of Gary Piccolo. Piccolo still running in that 2nd spot, but it's not going to be long for the wear here for the number 15 of Matt Watkins is down on the bottom side there momentarily. There was a race for that 2nd spot as he did indeed get around the 22 of Gary Piccolo for that 2nd spot. Drop kick Gary Piccolo back to that 3rd spot. So things could happen in the blink of an eye, but Matt Watkins is coming once again with 64.
Well, the 15 is chasing down the 64. The 22 certainly did not put up a fight there at all. The 15, he's certainly been the fastest car on the racetrack here tonight. Him and the 64 of Toby Robertson, those guys have been, 1-2 through the majority of this race, and no surprise at all to see these guys now with less than 5 laps remaining in stage number 2. So 85 of 140 up on the board as they work down the backstretch toward turn 3. Lap traffic up ahead here, Todd. The 45 of Bobby Farrell just up ahead, so they're going to have to negotiate some lap traffic and also negotiate racing with each other there as Toby slips up just a little bit, working that lap traffic through. That's allowed the 15 to pounce. He may race for the race lead as they hit turn 1.
The 15 of Matt Watkins momentarily looked down to the bottom side. He was trying to be able to get around the 64 of Tony Robertson, not able to do so. All over his rear bumper down the back straightaway, almost like these guys have chains linked to them. But the 15 of Matt Watkins right now currently running that 2nd spot, now peeks back down to the bottom, trying to get around the number 64 Tony Robertson, not able to do so off of 4, but he's trying once again, coming down into 1.
Yeah, he's got that run. Toby trying to keep him behind him, but I'm not sure how much more he's going to be able to do so. That 15 certainly on a rail as they exit turn number 2. Toby sliding up the racetrack off a corner exit. Matt being able to diamond the corner, we would say, drive it down to the low side. He gets a tremendous burst toward turn number 3. Lap traffic just up ahead of our race leaders, the 47 machine of Sonny Tallman, who is 3 laps down, about to fall yet another lap down and start finish line. 2 laps remaining in the segment, but are we going to see a race for the win here, Todd? We'll see as they hit turn 1.
Yeah, you're going to have to see it. Sonny Tallman way down on the bottom side, taking the line away from the 64 Tony Robertson. That's going to allow the 15 of Matt Watkins to pull up right behind Robertson, and he gives him a shot to the rear bumper there. Paying a little bit of bumper tag here, coming down into 3. Robertson drifts up the track just a little bit. Going to leave the door open just a little bit for Matt Watkins. Watkins all over his rear bumper, trying to get around the 64 of Tony Robertson, but not able to do so down into turn number 1.
No, Toby is not letting that car come off that low side at all. He's going to make it very difficult for Matt Watkins to claim this stage if he's going to get the second one here tonight. Racing through the last lap of the segment, down the back stretch toward turn number 3. Toby going to let that thing ride to the high lane and try to pull it down low. He's going to take that run away from Matt Watkins, so as they head to off of turn 4, looks like it's going to be the end of stage 2. Unofficially, let's call Toby Robertson the winner there. You made that maneuver perfectly, Todd. The 15 was certainly faster, but he threw the block in a low lane, and it looks like it's going to pay off, and he'll get those prestigious playoff points here. The winner of stage 2, Toby Robertson.
Oh, it looks like the yellow flag's not out yet. Here comes Matt Watkins. He's trying to make a move. He's up to. Now we have a yellow flag coming out, and I believe they're going to. Give it to Tony Robertson. As it looked like Matt Watkins is starting to gain on him there just a little bit, but they do not race back to the yellow. I believe it's frozen after everybody crosses that start-finish line. So it is Tony Robertson. It's going to be a 15 of Matt Watkins, the 22 of Gary Piccolo, the 34 of Tom Richter, the 78 of Dakota Wilkins, the 88 of Craig Meyer, the 47 of Sonny Tallman, the 45 of Bobby Farrell, the number 2 of Phil Parker, and the number 7 of Corey Danielson.
Field now going to catch the DRTV pace fan to turn number 3. So, a lot of the same kind of factors there as we saw in stages number 1 and stage number 2. The difference this time, Toby Robertson with those 4 fresh tires through the pit stop, able to hold off the challenge of Matt Watkins this time around. So, give Toby the win of stage 2. Pit road is open this time, and I believe we're going to see everybody on pit road here, Todd. You got to imagine, looks like going to be about 45 laps to end this race here as far as stage 3 goes. You got to assume, just like the last stage, we'll see here 4 tires through the break here on pit road.
Yeah, 4 tires, a little bit of break on pit road. You're seeing some of the other guys stay out because they are laps down to the field. It's the 47 and the 45 out there on the field here, but it should be the call. I'm down here looking as it looks like the 22 Gary Piccolo overshot his pit stall. He's almost up in the rear end of the 15 of Matt Watkins. That's kind of an interesting sight out there. but I'm not sure. It looks like he may be getting service there. I'm not sure what's going on there. I'm kind of confused.
Well, you know what it is, Todd. Gary Piccolo had stall number 1. He pulled in short. Matt Watkins was in his pit. Teammate Craig Meyer was right behind. Gary just got himself stuck in between and had to wait for the service for the 15 to be finished, and also had to wait, for the 15 to pull out before he pulled up to stall number 1. So a critical mistake there for Gary Piccolo. He's going to lose precious time on the racetrack, but with only 6 drivers left on the lead lap under the caution flag, not going to hurt him too bad. But Gary Piccolo, DRTV cameras are rolling, man. We're going to have to get him up here in the booth, Todd, to get a word on that one, because it's something I think we've all done before, but I don't think we see that on TV. So chuckle up here for sure. And, I know we'll talk to Toby here in a second, but let's see if we can't steal Gary here before we get through into green flag racing once again, because that was certainly peculiar.
Well, while we're waiting for Phil, there's a miscommunication there on the back end. Just waiting for Phil to get communication with one of these drivers up here, and I'm not sure which one he's actually going to bring up here and get communication with into the booth. So we're just waiting, and it looks like maybe Toby getting on the horn here. Phil, do you have him?
Now let's see if we get communication with Toby Robertson, the driver of the 64. Toby, Phil LeCassim, DRTV, buddy, you got a copy?
I've got a copy.
Well, man, the right call that time. 4 tires to the middle parts of that stage, and able to hold off Matt Watkins and win stage 2. But he certainly gave you one great challenge there through those last 2 or 3 laps.
Yes, he certainly did. He is extremely fast tonight. Luckily, we had some lap down cars around us and just a little bit of things going our way.
Now, it looks like stage number 3 is going to break up to be about the same equal distance between stages number 1 and 2. So, seeing what we've seen as far as pit stop strategy goes, we've seen you guys stop short, maybe about 3 or 4 laps shy of what the fuel window is. Do you think we expect to see the same thing here through about the equal distance here in stage 3?
Oh, absolutely. I would even say maybe 6 or 7 laps short of the fuel window. Those tires really matter, and when you have 4 fresh rubbers on there, you can really make up some time on guys with older tires. So
we documented that as well. On that long run there, we saw the likes of Bobby Farrell and Sonny Tallman stay out on older tires, and they had you guys trapped, 1 lap down, but, they burned out about 5 or 6 more laps on tires, and, by doing that, they not only lost about 6 to 8 seconds on the racetrack, it put those guys a lap down. So I think it shows that 4 fresh tires here at Charlotte tonight, they are certainly a premium.
yes, absolutely. I'm definitely going with 4.
All right. Well, Toby, congratulations on winning stage 2, and I think it's going to be you versus Matt here in stage 3 and be the winner of the All-Star race. So give it hell through these last 45 laps, buddy, and I'm certain we'll talk to you again here in the post-race. So good luck, bud.
I hope so. Thanks.
All right. Toby Robertson, the winner of stage number 2, doing a great job here tonight. But as you said there, Todd, tires being such a key here at Charlotte tonight, you got to have those 4 fresh tires here, you'd think.
Yeah, he already found out that 2 tires was not going to be a good call for that 64 early on in the going. He did end up second in the running order, but the 64 did take 4 tires at time, was able to hold on to that stage victory ahead of the 15 of Matt Watkins, who did actually chase him down in the first stage. So pace lights are out atop the DRTV pace van. We're getting ready to go for stage 3 here in the overall win. So we're going to have to wait and see who's going to win. They got 1 apiece. The 64, Tony Robertson. The 15 of Matt Watkins. Could it be another guy out there on the speedway who's just as hungry? But I'm going to go down to the YouTube chat box. Tell us who's going to win. This is going to be the first time we've sent it down there. I know there's a lot of active users down there in that YouTube chat box. Tell us who's going to win this race. We got roughly 40 laps to go here, pretty close to 50 laps to go here for this stage. So waiting on the green flag for stage number 3. Flagger has the green flag in hand. Loud pedal is down. Tony Robertson there with a 1 wheel of a start. Looks like the 15 of Matt Watkins spun his tires just a little bit on the top side of the speedway.
Yeah, he certainly did. Opens the door for Tom Richter here in the restart. Looks like he may try to pounce there to the inside lane. No, he'll let Mac back in line. Looks like everybody trying to find the low side of the racetrack. 1 car up against the outside wall. That might have been the Craig Meyer machine off of turn number 2.
Yeah, it looked like Craig Meyer momentarily got into the wall there just a little bit, just flirting with disaster there in the number 88 machine. He's trying to punish the wall, and usually when you try to punish the wall, the wall wins, and he's not able to. He does not drop back that far. So at least he didn't hit the wall that hard here this time, but he did actually flirt with the wall just a little bit, and he was able to keep it out of the wall just enough where it's not going to affect his car that much. But he is in that 4th position, so he lost a little bit of ground to those guys in front of him.
No, he certainly did. We'll have to see if he can get that thing gathered up and march back forward. That, of course, Craig Meyer, the Punisher, the 88 machine, currently in position number 4 last time around. So, almost a full second behind our race leaders, which are Toby Robertson and Matt Watkins. These guys riding the tire tracks, as they exit turn number 2, Todd. But the question I got for you, we've seen these guys sort of passively racing, not far as aggressive through the first 2 stages. Being the equal distance here in stage 3, do you think we're going to see more aggressive driving, or are you going to see these guys patient and long laps like we've seen here through mainly the first 100 laps?
Well, we're probably going to see these guys be patient. It's not towards the end of the stage yet. You still got one more pit stop due. So I think you're going to see these guys be a little bit patient. It's going to be when that other stop has been completed. You're going to see these guys rile up and restack themselves and get ready to attack on each other and try to win that final stage.
Absolutely right. So we'll have to monitor that. Racing for around that 4th position, starting to heat up a little bit. Craig Meyer and Gary Pickle. The idiot loose, and he's going to be a round off of turn number 4. That's going to put the first official yellow flag of the night out on the speedway. Something peculiar happening there aboard the 88. That thing just got away from Todd. Not sure if a tire went down or what was happening there, but it certainly got light off of exit a corner, and we haven't seen these cars do that all night long.
Yeah, I'm not sure what went on with Craig. It looks like maybe just a little loose, maybe some gremlins in his car. I'm not sure. That was interesting to see Craig just get loose like that. A little bit of tail happy, but we'll have to wait and see what Rich says. Maybe he had contact, maybe not. I'm not 100% positive. I just seen him around, and it looked like that back end just kind of kicked out on him.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure there was contact there. Not sure if that was an arrow spin, We see these guys tucked up on each other's bumpers all night long, especially off of turn number 4, and have not seen any of those guys get loose like that yet. So was there contact? Was there not contact? We're going to let Rich tell that story here when he gets queued up with our first DRTV replay of the night. If you can believe it, 100 laps in to the Blazin Pedals Monster Energy NASCAR All-Star Race here tonight at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. So we'll let Mr. TV Time get all worked out. No, he's not been too busy down there tonight, which I'm sure he's certainly thankful for, and just waiting from the queue from the trailer to be ready. And I believe for the first time tonight, we'll talk to Mr. TV Time, Rich Patton, who's going to have a replay queued up and ready. So take it away, Rich. Was there contact or was there not? Show us what the story is.
Yeah, definitely no contact between Gary and Craig. Punisher just punished his own vehicle. It looks like he's also going to punish some of the infield as well. We're going to keep our eyes on that 88 machine as we play this out in slow motion. He comes down low into the corner as he's getting out of the corner. Camera's a little low, but this is going to give us the best scene coming off the corner. So right there, he comes off the corner. The rear end starts skating around on him. Next thing you know, Gary might have tapped the brakes a little bit just to get off of him, but looks like Craig helped himself to a spin, lifts the rear end of that thing up off the ground, took a little bit of grass in the infield. Meanwhile, you see Bobby Farrell, and I believe that was also, who's this other guy? Sorry. But they make some contact as well into the wall there. That was the 47 of Corey. I'm sorry about that, Corey. It's had a lot of things on my head, but Craig finally gets that thing spinning in the right direction after all the mayhem stops, and he's going to be rolling again, guys. But tough break for Craig Meyer, self-spin coming off of turn 4.
Yeah, but it looks like the fenders on that car are still clean, so, I'm sure he's going to be fine. But, somebody else who, with the yellow flag, who may be fine, he's going to hate us for this here, Todd, but he's a buddy of ours, and we have to haze on him at every opportunity we get. So let's get our buddy Gary Pickle on the horn. Gary, I need no introduction to you, buddy. I know we were talking off-air communication, but what was that on pit road, man? Do you got an explanation for that? Because that was certainly, strange, but at the same time for us, it made for good comedy TV. So you've always said that 22 is good for comic relief, and you paid up again here tonight, bud.
Yeah, well, yeah, I did. Matt's been beating our asses all night, so I forgot that I was pitted ahead of him. Then I got stuck. I went to go put it in reverse, and I broke reverse, so I was stuck there until they were done pitting.
That's got to be the most helpless feeling in the world, and knowing, we got the cameras on here tonight, so we're seeing all this happen in live living color. It had to be agony from the driver's seat, breaking reverse and have to wait for Matt to pull out of his pit stall. But did anywhere in the back of your mind, did you think, oh crap, the cameras may have caught that? Please say Rich, Phil, and Todd didn't see that. Did that enter your mind whatsoever? Because frankly, we couldn't stop laughing up here.
Oh, not at all, because trust me, all these guys on my whisper just wouldn't let it go either. So, yep, just when I thought that the weirder things couldn't happen, well, they do.
Well, you guys have certainly had your hands full tonight with Matt and Toby. Those guys have certainly shown to be the two best cars out there. But, you and Craig and, Dakota and Tom, you've had a great spirited race for around that third spot tonight. Did any of you guys have anything left to chase down Matt or Toby? Because those guys seem to be flying here this evening.
I doubt it. I mean, I think Matt's got us all covered. He's just running with some alien speed tonight. Trying to talk to him, get some tips out of him, and see what he's doing. But, he's playing coy.
Well, the common denominator I see between the two of them, Gary, they're both out there driving Toyotas. You guys out there in the Forge tonight. Do these Toyotas have more speed? Do you guys need to switch makes? I know we say that tongue-in-cheek, knowing that our buddy Craig has just switched to the Blue Oval Brigade, but any thoughts at all of maybe getting over to Toyota and gaining the speed that, say, a Toby and Matt do here tonight?
You don't have enough money to pay me to get into a Toyota.
That's the response I was expecting. Well, buddy, you go out there, put that thing up on the top three. We'll talk to you again in the Pro race. But if we don't talk to you, thanks for being a good sport. I know you've been a buddy to us for a long time, and if we knew anybody we could rag on, you were the best guy to do so. So you take it like a champ as always, and give it hell the rest of the night. You guys have certainly put a good race on for us.
We'll see what we can do, man. Thanks for putting this on. We're all just out of a small field, but we're having fun.
We're all having fun here tonight, and so it's all about. That's our buddy Gary Piccolo. We'll let him get back up to race control and put him back on the racetrack. And Rich, Johnny on the spot there, Todd, as he says off channel. We're talking to Gary. He displayed that awesome pit stop by Gary on pit road, or he's gonna. So we'll go back and relive this once again. But it's comical, but man, it's got to stink down there. You blow your pit stop, you got to put it in reverse, and you reach back for the gear, and it's not there. That's just terrible luck on his end.
Yeah, indeed it is, Phil. He says you can't pay him enough to go to Toyota. Well, what's going to happen? What's going to happen when these Toyotas keep beating him, and his manufacturer drops him, and he has no choice but to run Toyota?
Well, we'll get back on that here in a second. The field working its way off of turn number 4. Rich has already said he's got the replay queued up, so we'll love on our buddy Gary Piccolo a little bit more here in just a second. But let's see what happens on the restart. Anybody going to spin their tires? 103 of 140 up on the board, so getting down to the nitty-gritty of this thing. Green flag is in the air.
Green flag definitely in the air. The 15 of Matt Watkins getting a good start there this time by. The 64 is down on the bottom side, so a good start. Probably the best start of the evening. 64 Tony Robertson able to battle back on the bottom side. The 15 of Matt Watkins on the high side. He's battling back once again down the back straightaway. Look at that well over run down the back straightaway into turn number 3. It's Matt Watkins with a slight advantage. The 64 running in that second spot. I believe out of this corner you're going to see Watkins have an advantage enough where he's going to be able to pull down in front of the 64 Tony Robertson. He's going to be able to do so. Put Matt Watkins back to the lead.
Yeah, he used that advantage on the high side, but right behind him, the battle for third was one on the low side by the 78 of Dakota Wilkins. He was able to not only pass the 34 of Tom Richter, but also the 88 of Craig Meyer was in that fray as well. Craig's been drop-kicked all the way back to that 6th spot, but does Dakota Wilkins, Todd, we talked about him just kind of laying in the weeds. Does he have anything left for our top 2? We're going to see he's closing, gaining ground off of turn 4.
Yeah, definitely gaining ground there in the 78 machine. I thought he forgot where the right pedal was, the loud pedal was in his car, but he's indeed found the loud pedal once again. He's becoming familiar with it, now running in that 3rd spot.
Yeah, certainly is. But while these guys are all sorted out in green flag racing, let's go back there. One of the most stranger things we've ever seen here on DRTV, and I think back to years ago coming to BP and seeing the Bermuda Triangle and all the crazy things that happened there, but I don't think I've ever seen a guy live on DRTV, Rich, pull the stunt here that the 22 did on pit road.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you. For your race fans, the live coverage is in the top left. Our replay that we're going to review here is in the bottom right. We're going to let this play out. Camera's going to stay focused on Gary's 22 machine. Play this at full speed. We'll slow it down here in just a moment. Everything's coming down pit road as normal. Gary's looking good. Everything thinks is going good. Next thing you know, they're going to dive into their pit stalls. Gary tries to get in there a little bit early. Not sure. I know he made a comment in the pits earlier, but he actually came in behind the 15. That wasn't good. Right there is where he broke reverse, so he's stuck between the Craig Meyer and the 15 machine. Can't get into his pit stall because he can't back up, so he's got nothing to do but wait for the 15 to complete his pit stop, and then he's going to be able to pull forward into his pit and go ahead and finish up his pit stop. So tough break for Gary, and as you guys say, you know, we couldn't help but show this replay. Gary, we love you, buddy, here on DRTV. Back to you guys.
Like a monkey chasing a football here tonight live on DRTV. If you can cue up the circus music, you can certainly do it right there. But we pick on Gary, but he's rebounded nicely. Currently in that 5th spot, 5 cars are broken away. Looks like the damage on the 88 from that spin, Todd, has certainly paid a toll because Craig has dropped all the way back to that 7th spot, and he's over 4 seconds behind. So maybe some damage there from that previous spin.
Yeah, I'm thinking so for the 88 Craig Meyer. It's too bad for the 88 Craig Myers. He did have a strong car. I mean, he was inside the top 5 all evening long. There's a lot of different players up here, though, Phil. I've been watching Dakota Wilkins up here. There's 34 of Tom Richter. Richter's down on the bottom side. Now there's a race for the lead. So we got a double race here going on. We got the 78 of Dakota Wilkins on the high side with Richter down on the bottom. Richter going to be able to complete the pass. Slide job maneuver into out of turn number 4. Richter now into the lead, or not into the lead, but into 3rd. The 78 of Dakota Wilkins drop kick him back to the 4th spot, but battle for the lead still maintains the 64. Tony Robertson still on the bottom side. The 15 of Matt Watkins maintaining the top side. They're side by side coming out of 2 and almost touching that wall is the 15 of Matt Watkins, not doing so. But here comes Tom Richter. Richter all over the rear bumper of both these guys, maybe looking to make it 3 wide there momentarily. Not going to be able to do so. The gap does close, but Phil, I see that big open gap in the middle. I almost would want to shoot that gap right now.
Whew, at a place like a Charlotte, I think the better part of valor may come in there. Maybe not the best idea to shoot the middle, but maybe shoot the inside. Tom Richter trying to be a player there on the inside. He thought about making it 3 wide. He thought better of that, fell back into line. But, you know, look at the great run Matt Watkins is having up high. You know, has not lost that, you know, he's not surrendering by no means. He's cut up in that high lane, and he's making it work. Toby in the low side, but with the benefit of the draft, Todd, you know the draft has played some role here tonight. You got to assume Tom Richter running the low side is going to eventually, you know, work over that 15 of Matt Watkins. He's not going away, but you got to think after too long, the outside lane may give up a little bit. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm thinking so. As 34 Tom Richter swung to the high side there momentarily, helped out the 15 of Matt Watkins, and he's able to get around the 64 of Tony Robertson. Now back down in front of him, so that kills his run there momentarily. But can Tom Richter do anything with the 64 in front of him?
I'm not sure. I mean, those 2 cars have been fast all night, but if anybody's missed it, where do they come from? It's Tom Richter, the blue and white number 34, race to the low side. That's a race to the 2nd spot off of turn 2.
Yeah, race for the 2nd spot. They are dead even down in the back straightaway. Tom Richter down on the bottom side. Tony Robertson on the top side. Is he going to be able to hold off the challenges of the 34 Tom Richter? Richter still edging in front of him just a little bit. Tony Robertson one well over run off the top side, the top shelf of the speedway. And then number 64 machine not going to be able to pull it off down the front straightaway. Can Richter slide in front of him? He's not going to do so here, but now he's able to close it just a little bit. Now he's going to be able to go to the top side again. Tom Richter to the 2nd spot.
And that opened the door briefly for Gary Piccolo, 22, to peek to the inside of the 64. Thought he may do so through 1 and 2. Didn't do it there, but off of 3 and 4. Once again, that red line forward looking to the low side. He's going to fall back in line, but it may not be too long at all before that race for 3rd heats up. Does Gary have enough? Swing it to the low side. Nope, he's going to fall back in line, so that race for 3rd may cool off. Now maybe a race for the 2nd spot. Richter up the racetrack. They are racing hard here at Charlotte here tonight, Todd.
Yeah, definitely racing hard as we're on lap 116 of 140, and these guys racing hot and heavy up front. Remember, there's probably going to be one more pit stop for these guys. The 32-lap window there is probably the latest that they can stay out. We did restart with, I believe, about 38 to go there, Phil. So it's going to be interesting to see who's going to, what's going to happen here in these pit stops. But these guys not letting any of their tires fail them. They're using up every inch of those tires. And the 64 of Tony Robertson all over the rear bumper. Tom Richter once again. Richter seems to be a little bit tight in the middle and center off.
No, he certainly does. But looking up to the scoreboard as they hit the line this time, 118 going on the board. So that magic number of 32, Todd, 32 laps remaining in this event. So that means the window to come on pit road could be open any time. So does short pitting from here and maybe making that last final pit stop, do you maybe think of doing that here now, or maybe in a short time, or do you let this fuel burn out and maximize this entire run?
Well, I almost think you maximize the entire run, maybe take a gamble at the end of that, but it all depends on what the leaders do. You're kind of at the mercy of what these leaders are going to do, Phil. I mean, if they're going to short pit, they're going to get them 4 fresh Goodyear Eagles. You're going to have to wait and see what happens there. But I mean, even with 22 laps left, we got 22 laps left. So I don't know. Would 2 tires be the call? I'm not thinking so. I still think 4 tires would still have enough time to get by it.
Todd, I'll give you the better part of this one. There is 22 laps to go, not 32. Common Core math up here with the DRTV control booth as always. Phil cannot do basic arithmetic tonight. It has certainly been, the cack up my tongue. The math is out the window. Throw that calculator out. Smack me around. So that whole short pitting strategy, will tear that up, throw it out the window, because we have 20 laps remaining. We'll get that right in my system. 20 laps to go. Matt Watkins has so far paced this field here. Tom Richter, Toby Robertson, Gary Piccolo, Dakota Wilkins. Those are the 5 cars in this lead pack. They have pulled away from the entire field. Sonny Tolman currently 60, is 7.5 seconds off the race lead. Craig Meyer currently on the racetrack on the lead lap, but about 11 seconds or better. Currently running in 7th position. Bobby Farrell still out there on the racetrack. That low Chevrolet 3 laps down. Currently 8th, so 8 of the 10 drivers left on the racetrack. Phil Parker also joined us here tonight. He put the 2 car in the field. He's going to finish up on 9th. And Corey Danielson, the number 7, he had issues here tonight. He'll finish up 10th. But Todd, pit road is open. I believe we have our first taker.
Yeah, that's the 22 of Gary Piccolo. He gives up his 4th running position to come down pit road. He's the first guy to come down on pit road. What is Gary Piccolo going to do? Is it going to be 2 tires? Is it going to be 4 tires? I mean, he's got 18 laps left, so we're going to have to wait and see what he's going to do here on pit road. He does not have people in front of him this time. Maybe that's why he came down by himself, so he didn't have those issues. The right side tires going on the 22 of Gary Piccolo. Looks like, let's see if they go around to the left side. Left side tires going on, 4 tires. Is the call for the number 22 of Gary Piccolo, and he's down on the way.
I got the 34 of Tom Richter. He pitted out of that top 5. He'll come to the attention of his pit crew. That blue and white number 34 down pit road. Let's see what the work is for that Chevrolet. Tom having a great run here tonight. Comes in our series point leader for the Blazin Pedals Monster Energy Cup Series here. They run on Thursday nights. Right side tires up on that Chevrolet. Right side work is done. Do they swing to the left sides? Absolutely. 4 tires going to be the call. 34 of Tom Richter. A little bit of a longer pit stop. That work is done. He's down and away.
And definitely down the way. Waiting to see who else comes down on pit road here. These guys stayed out a little bit longer. But interesting fact, Phil, we were talking about maybe the idea of Craig Meyer having some issues and maybe having some motor issues or something to affect with that wall. But I'm hearing him go into the corner, Phil, and I hear no engine. And then I hear it start right back up. So I think Craig Meyer's got a little bit of strategy going on out there, and that's why he was laying back, as he's, I believe, clutching it on the number 88 machine, and he's going to try. I think he's going to try to make it the distance.
Man, wouldn't that be a coy play by the 88 of Craig Meyer? He's a guy who likes to gamble. He'll do weird things like that, and man, can he roll the dice and stretch this thing out? I believe unofficially with the restart, that would make it almost a 35, 36 lap run. So he's going to have to eke out all the fuel he possibly can. So maybe, just maybe, can he make it? I'll ask you the question there, Todd. Can he make it? And even better yet, let's ask the YouTube chat box. Can the 88 make that thing clutching from here and maybe not have to make a pit stop at all? I think the answer is no. What do you think there, Todd?
It's going to be close. It's going to be close to see what he's going to do. I mean, he is indeed 13 seconds back. He's been clutching it. It's going to be close to see what happens. These guys in front of him have to pit. I believe it was the 15, the 64, the 78, and the 47 all have not come down to pit road, and they've all been going pretty strong out there, not saving fuel. And the 88 of Craig Meyer's been back there saving fuel and trying to make sure that he has enough to make the distance. So it's going to be a tough call. I think you can do it if he saves just the right amount of fuel. It's just you got to be right on that clutch, and you got to make sure your R's are down. So we have to wait and see.
And there was almost a calamity there coming on pit road there. The 15 of the 64, they lopped up the brakes there. The 78 of Dakota Wilkins, not sure he got the signal. Those guys are coming to pit road, but there was almost a big collision. But nonetheless, those two guys are in clean. I got Matt Watkins in my sight. Let's see what that driver of the number 15 Toyota does here in his final pit stop. 12 laps to go here at the line. The right side tire work is up on that number 15, so it's going to be at least two. I'm going to be a gambling man here and say, Matt's going to go for 4 tires. He's, say that again. 2 tires for Matt Watkins. I'm absolutely shocked there, Todd. How about Toby Roberson on your end?
Tony Roberson, 2 tires. Down in the way, right side tires for the 64 machine. So maybe they've heard that Craig Meyer's out there, Phil, and he's out there on old tires, and he's trying to save that fuel, trying to do his strategy, and maybe they've heard our conversation, and the 4 tires probably would have been devastating for them, but 2 tires is a pretty decent call, I believe, here at the end of this.
Man, I think that's a gambling play. Absolutely. That turns the race lead over to Dakota Wilkins, number 78. If I'm Dakota here, Todd, knowing these guys may have taken 2 tires on pit road, knowing what you're losing as far as tire wear in these long runs, I want to bring my butt to pit road now. I want to slap 4 Goodyear tires on this thing and see if I can't take those 4 freshies and chase these guys down. Smart player or not a great call knowing those guys got 2.
Well, I mean, you got 10 laps left. We're going to have to wait and see what happens. I mean, we're going to have to see if what these guys are going to do. But 2 tires, it's tough. It really is tough. But these guys that are staying out this long on those older tires, I mean, 2 tires is better than those 4 Goodyear Eagles that you put on 30 laps ago. So just got to wait and see. I mean, you're going to lose precious seconds the longer you stay out.
Well, I can't, Craig Meyer's on the fuel strategy. I wonder if Sonny Tallman may be also on a similar strategy, but, Dakota Wilkins, I'm thinking it's time to come to pit road and probably put tires in this thing. Him being not in conservation mode there, Todd. I've ride around that 78 quite a bit here through this run. Have not heard him clutching there whatsoever, so you got to think he's eventually going to come to pit road, wouldn't you think, if he's not saving out there?
Yeah, eventually you think he's got to come down pit road. Maybe he's going to take the tires and just a splash of fuel there, Phil, and be down and away. I mean, that could be a strategy in that number 78 machine. I mean, like you said, 32 to 36 different things that are going on.
Oh, absolutely right. So, following along our race leader, buzzed by the pits last time around. He's off of turn number 2. 8-second advantage over Sonny Tallman, who looks like has now had to surrender the 47 onto pit road. So, Todd, not to put you on the spot, but can you update us? What's the word on that 47 machine? Is it they get service down there?
I'm looking down there to see what the 47 is doing, and I mean I have not I cannot reach contact. Yep, there we go. The 47 right side tires, Sonny Tallman. It looks like he's going to take 4 tires. 4 tires is the call for the 47 and Sonny Tallman. He's down and away.
So we've seen him, maybe not on the fuel conservation run, so he's come to pit road. Craig Meyer is on that run. Extended run for Dakota Wilkins, a 78, Todd. He's off the banking through the grass. He's going to blow that pit stop. Oh, you got to imagine they're getting on the pit road like that and missing that commitment cone. You got to imagine that may be some kind of penalty there. Tough break, but we talk about these money stops all the time there, Todd Stanton. You can't afford that critical mistake on the last round of green flag stops. And the 78, looks like his work may get in here clean, but a penalty may be looming there.
Yeah, I think a penalty definitely going to loom for the 78 of Dakota Wilkins. That's tough. A tough break for 78, and I'm sure he's really, really pissed off at him. But Mr. TV Time, Rich Patton. Rich, you have what happened to Dakota there. Show the YouTube chat box what happened, what brought him into that grass.
Yeah, we're going to keep the live camera up on the 88 because 88 is the running story right now. Looks like he's trying to win this thing without stopping, but we're going to keep the camera on the right, down on the 78 of that Fugue machine. Getting into the pits a little hot, almost making a mistake. We're going to run this in slow motion, makes a last-minute dive to the pits, gets down on the apron. He finally gets that car leveled out on the apron, jumps on the brakes hard right there. He missed the commitment cone, He's going to take it through the grass to get down on pit road. I believe you're right. He's probably going to get a penalty out of this one. So tough break for Dakota Wilkins in that 78 machine. And tensions are flying right now on this track. There's a lot of stories going on, guys. It's getting excited. Back to you.
Yeah, and it was at least a 30-second penalty down there, the official in front of the 78, so that's going to end his chances of claiming this BP Monster Energy NASCAR All-Star race here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Getting down to these precious laps here, Todd, there's going to be 2 laps remaining here, I believe, at the line, but it's down to precious teaspoons of fuel there in the 88. We know he's out there conserving. The big question we all have is, does he have enough?
Yeah, that's going to be the question that is going to be answered here momentarily. I've been watching the lap times between Craig Meyer as he's got to save a lot of fuel, so he's on the clutch into the corner. The 15 and Tony Roberson in the 64, those guys were 13 seconds behind him, actually 15 seconds before. Now 13, now 11, so they're getting 2 seconds a lap. So as long as Craig can hold on and have enough fuel to make it the distance, they're not going to have enough time. Craig Meyer will take down this win.
They are chopping that interval big time there through these last 2 laps. And as we say that, at least over 2 seconds a lap. You listen to the 88 car through the corners here, Todd, at the 2 to go marker. You don't hear, engine sound from that 88 machine at all. He is off at the engine of the corner. He's on it real late. So certainly in fuel conservation mode, and 2 seconds again for these guys. So it's down to 9 seconds. Does Craig Meyer have enough fuel? He's got about 6 corners left to go. The race leader's in turn 4, Todd.
Yeah, race leader in turn number 4. He's coming off in to get the White Silk. White Silk in the air. One more trip around the speedway. Does the Punisher Craig Meyer have enough to make it home here and take down the victory on fuel strategy? And that number 88 machine, they are 9 seconds back. Now they are 7 seconds back, and he is starting to slow down in the 88 machine. I believe he's starting to spit and sputter down the back straightaway. Maybe just pick it up just a little bit, but he is spitting and sputter in that number 88 machine.
He is sputtering through turns number 3 and 4, on and off the gas pedal. I don't hear engine life whatsoever. Is he out of fuel? Can these guys run him down? I think the answer is no. Craig Meyer on gas mileage, Todd. Does he have enough at the start-finish line? I believe he's going to win this race. Craig Meyer, the winner of the Monster Energy All-Star race here for BP in an amazing fuel conservation. I can't believe it. The 88, Todd, going to victory lane. What a ballsy move here for that 88.
Yeah, definitely out of fuel, as you could not hear hear anything out of that engine compartment aboard the number 88 in that Ford. Wins him another race there, Phil, and he was down and out about these Fords. Great fuel mileage, winning them race, great power, and now Craig Meyer bringing home another victory here, this time live on DRTV.
Yeah, what an amazing... I didn't even think that play was possible to stretch the fuel the way he did. I can't believe it whatsoever. And, a genius move, was not one of the 2 faster cars here tonight. Sometimes the faster car does not win these races, but in this case, it's sometimes rather to be smart than good. And I'm stunned that the 88 of Craig Meyer going to victory lane. And, hats off to Matt Watkins, Toby Robertson. They won the first 2 stages. They're going to get those bonus points, but man, you sure, Todd, they wanted to go to victory lane. We'll see if we can't get our top 3 worked out here in just a second.
Yeah, it's definitely good as they try to push him to do maybe a burnout here on the first straightaway. It's not going to happen there with the 22 Gary Piccolo trying to push him. But it's interesting, like we were saying, Craig Meyer saving enough fuel there. He only won by 2 seconds, so those guys really cut it down there coming out of turn number 4. But it's never enough. He could not make it. But I definitely rendered kind of speechless up here with the number 88, as Phil was saying in my ear too. I mean, I cannot believe he won that race on fuel mileage like he did, and he had to save almost 6 laps of fuel there towards the end of that, but he was able to do so, and great victory for Craig Meyer.
Yeah, I certainly want to pick his brain later on as well, but we'll move to the post-race show. What an awesome race for these guys. It was a 10-car field here tonight, a little light crowd for the All-Star race, but certainly an awesome event here, slowed by 1 official yellow flag here with the stage racing. What a great job of these guys at BP, and it's good to catch up with the head admin of this series, our buddy Toby Robertson. Toby brought that thing home 3rd, not the finish you wanted, but man, did anybody in anybody's wildest imagination think that 88 could stretch the field the way he did? I didn't think he could. I'm absolutely stunned he found that thing to victory lane.
I am too. That was an amazing pit strategy by the 88 team, and he deserves that win. Just to be able to go out there and clutch so well and bring that one away.
Now, what an awesome race by you guys tonight. Certainly thrilled to be a part of it and showcase this awesome event. You guys have certainly had some awesome racing here in this series over the years, and so far in 2017, it certainly so far lived up to the billing. Maybe light on draw here tonight, but you guys certainly, laid these laps down in a very fast and a very clean fashion, so I'm sure it's something you're very proud of, and I'm sure you guys open the door to invite anybody out there who may be watching. You want to be part of a great Cup series here on Thursday night. There's no better place to come there than Blazin Pedals here on Thursday.
Yes, we race every Thursday, 9 o'clock. We do stages. You just saw it here. And these guys are one of the most competitive guys I've seen out there. And very clean racers. And you saw it tonight, only one official caution. I'm really proud of these guys. Fantastic all around.
Well, Toby, thanks for having us again here tonight. I know we talked to you here before, but I'm going to give you the microphone one more time now. Give a shout out to all your friends, your fans, your sponsors, anybody who might out there be watching here tonight live on YouTube here on DRTV.
Well, first of all, I want to thank DRTV for putting on this event. Then I want to thank Tom Richter, who did a lot of work on this track alongside myself to put it together for this week. And also, I want to give a shout out for Dakota Wilkins. He wanted me to say Fug for life. So if you're a fan of Fug, please go over there, find them on Facebook, and add them. So, and everyone else I missed out on, sorry, there's just so many people to name, but thank you for your support.
All right, Toby. Well, once again, congratulations on an awesome race, and I think we're going to see you guys at BP here again in a couple of weeks, so can't wait to come back, and thanks again for having us tonight. Certainly a lot of fun.
Thanks a lot.
All right, Toby Robinson, guys, going to finish up in position number 3 tonight. 2 spots shy of where he wanted to. But, Todd, I'm going to throw it over to you. I believe you've got Matt Watkins down there. I think he was a perennial pick by everybody to come to victory lane. I'm sure he's about as stunned as everybody else that Craig is able to save that fuel. So, Todd, down to you.
Yeah, definitely. I've caught up with the fifth driver, the number 15, Matt Watkins. It's rather interesting, the strategy that the 88 Craig Meyer had. I was stunned. The crowd was stunned. What say you, Matt? Did you think he was going to make it like that?
Yeah, knew it was possible. Just didn't know anybody would try it. And then, once I got up front, my bed was made, and that was that.
Well, you brought home a stage win here this evening. A second place finish. You got second in the second stage. Overall, a really good night. Just a little bit shy, 2.34 seconds of that win. I mean, you guys came from a long ways. You were 15 seconds back with 3 to go. To bring it down to 2 seconds with Craig with his field strategy, I wasn't sure if Craig was going to be able to hold on to that there at the end. I thought you guys were coming and you were going to get him out of 4.
Yeah, I was hoping. He took the white flag with 7 seconds. I knew unless something catastrophic happened, he was probably going to do it, and got close. But I'm not quite.
Well, like I said, good run, good stage win. You had a second place finish here tonight, and overall good points night for you guys. And looking on to the next race, strategy beat you tonight. What can you take from something like this tonight, Matt? Do you learn stuff from this? Going to use that type of strategy next time, maybe?
Yeah, I've definitely been fortunate enough to win races like that. It's just, you just got to hope everything plays perfectly, no cautions, and all that good stuff. And it can work out sometimes. I was hoping this wouldn't be the race it would work out, but it did. But it was fast, ran good, and it's all you can ask for is to have a chance.
You guys put on an amazing show here tonight in our return here for BP in the Cup Series. It was you guys put on an amazing show. You guys were back and forth. You guys were giving it your all, and only one official yellow flag here all evening long, and it was a great race.
Yeah, everybody ran clean. Would have liked to see one more caution other than that last one. That would have been nice, but it worked out well for everybody. It was a good race, and I think Toby did a good job. Toby, Dakota, Tom did a good job putting it on for us.
I'm going to give you the microphone one more time, Matt. Thank whoever you'd like to thank who got you here this evening.
I just thank Blazin Pedals for putting on the All-Star race. Like I said, Toby, Tom, Dakota, all those guys that pitched in and made it possible. Appreciate you guys coming out, and hope to do it again. It was fun.
All right. Well, that's our driver number 15, Matt Watkins, going to finish up with the second spot here tonight. But Mr. TV Time, Rich Pat, I know you got a busy victory lane down there. Our race winner, the 88 machine of Craig Meyer, who also, by the way, these guys at BP, $50 cash prize. So maybe instead of calling him the Punisher, Rich, maybe we coin him Mr. Money Craig Meyer down there in victory lane. But I believe you got the winner. Go down to victory lane.
Yeah, no kidding. I made my way down here to Victory Lane, standing here next to Mr. Money, Mr. Punisher. Craig, they're calling you all kinds of stuff. The thing I want to know is, how does it feel to win this race tonight, buddy? You had to be on the edge of your seat.
Oh, I got to tell you, Phil, Todd, Rich, you guys, my heart was pounding those last 10 laps because I was not sure if I was going to be able to make it or not.
Yeah, I wanted to, I'm glad that you ended up winning this race because I have to ask you this question. I know the whole world's wanting to know what's going on. Did you cross that start-finish line completely out of fuel? It looked like you slowed down really quick coming to the line.
It ran out in the middle of 3 and 4. It started sputtering down the back stretch and ran out in the middle of 4. But Harry back at the shop, he put an extra large gas line in it holding an extra gallon of fuel. So it worked out.
Oh, that's too funny. So I'm hearing there's a lot of gossip going on also about you joining the Blue Oval team. So is that all, going your way for 2017? Is that what you're going to do? You're going to take chances like this when running a different manufacturer and all and just see what's out there for you?
Well, I can't say anything. Made the switch to the Blue Oval. Gary talked me into it. Gary, good teammate over at Redline. And I can't complain. Since we made the switch, been running good. I guess Ford threw a little more money at it than Chevy was. But it's honestly, no clue. I didn't think I was going to make it.
Well, all I can tell you, Craig, is congratulations on winning the $50 for winning this race tonight. Congratulations on winning the event tonight here, and hats off to you for having the genius move of the event tonight with that smart pit strategy and fuel conservation. Congratulations on the win. Spectacular win. I'm going to give the floor to you one more time. The mic is all yours, Craig. Go ahead and thank who got you here and whatever. And again, congratulations, buddy. The floor is yours.
I appreciate it. Yeah, honestly, I think I got kind of backed into the corner because when I brought the yellow out and it spun through the infield, it hit a dip, and I think it damaged the car some. It wasn't quite the speed, so I let that kind of dictate the strategy. But I got to thank Matt. I got to thank Toby. They put on a great series over here at BP. I got to thank BP for putting it on and everything. Got to thank Fug Motorsports. Fug for Life. They sponsored the event. I got to thank you guys. You guys always do a great job. You do a great broadcast, great show, and everything. And I got to thank the wife. She lets me do it. So, all in all, I said Matt had it won. This was Matt's race. Matt had the best car. I got lucky.
Well, there you have it, race fans. Your race winner today, Craig Meyer. Guys up in the booth, sometimes that's what racing's all about, is just being in the right spot at the right time. And, one heck of a finish is all I can say.
Yeah, and they say, Todd, the old adage, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, and the luck was on the 88 side here tonight. I'm still taken back by the strategy and all that paying off, and as stunned as anybody else to see that 88 in victory lane, but what a call, what a race. These guys at PP always did an amazing job anytime I come over here, and good to see them guys coming up on the schedule again in a couple of weeks. One of my favorite leagues to broadcast, and can't wait to come over here in the month of July for a great race, raising awareness of breast cancer. Can't wait to come back here in July. Great job as BP as always.
Yeah, definitely a great job, and like you said, Phil, it was a great race, great strategy called by Craig Meyer here this evening, and sometimes it's just the most determined driver that wins the race. It don't have to always be the fastest driver out there on the speedway. The most determined driver can win a race, and Craig is definitely the most determined driver, staying out there on that field mileage strategy, sticking to his guns, and he kind of made his bed. He had to stick with it, and he brought home a victory, and and he's $50 richer after the end of the night, so that's another good plus. Maybe he can go buy us a drink or two there, Phil, after this broadcast.
Well, maybe, or I'll encourage Craig, take the wife out to dinner. She lets you race, so why not go out there, buy her a steak, do her up. We're just coming off of Mother's Day, so you got to take care of the lady. So congratulations to Craig Meyer. Congratulations to Blazin Pedals for an awesome race they put on here this evening, and so much more yet to come for us here in DRTV through the month of May. It is certainly all-star time, Charlotte time. A lot of great races on the schedule here the next couple of weeks. We return to the airwaves in a few nights from now. May the 21st, we head back over to the ASRG Racing Group there. Gary Mingus, David Shin, all the guys at ASR. The Bryant Motorsports Parts Barn 250 coming up here 3 days from now on May the 21st, 9 p.m. start time, I believe, for that event. Check out the full schedule, drlnetwork.com. Also, we have the month of May booked up, the 7-Eleven Super Truck Series, and the first trip for DRTV to the Fast Track Elite Sim Racing League. That happens on May the 26th. So a lot of great racing here left to come here through the month of May. And if you'd like to get your league on DRTV, drlnetwork.com. Click on the broadcast packages. Check out the rates. They are custom fit for all your league's needs. And get Rich, Todd, and myself over to your place and put on a great show, just like we had here tonight at Blazin Pedals. So until next time, we'll get off the air here, let everybody get out with their evening. But until next time, thank you out there, everybody in YouTube tonight. As always, a fantastic audience, very engaged and very thankful for all support. So until next time, we're signing off here with DRTV, the best in sim race broadcast. We'll see you next time. Good night.